Been a lot of news about Batman coming out lately, and now we got some news about Joker. So we're gonna check out from Emergency Awesome, the Batman 2021 new Joker announcement breakdown and Easter eggs. Poor Bats lost his father. Now he dresses in black. Now, if only there was something we could do to honor this death with Father's Day coming up. Oh, I know! Titanium matte black wallets from the Ridge. And they have a special sale going on with Father's Day coming up. If you saw the last time we plugged Ridge, so silly. If you saw the last time we plugged Ridge, you would know that I love the hell out of this wallet. Yes, we agreed to do it because I was like, yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about Ridge, but after experiencing the wallet myself, I've never had more conversations about a wallet in my life. Like, seriously, it feels cool to just whip out this wallet. It holds up to 12 cards. They're super light, super durable. I genuinely love this dang thing.
These things come in aluminum, burnt titanium, and carbon fiber. Several designs, colors to choose from. Their RFID blocking to protect your info, and they've got over 30,000 5-star reviews. And the best part is, you can save 10% when you go to ridge.com/rejectnation and enter our special promo code REJECTNATION. Save yourself 10% free shipping worldwide.
Seriously, Ridge, thank you for sponsoring this video. Danny Elfman, Batman 1989. 92, 95, 97.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Batman video. There was a new report that was published by the Direct website about their plans for a new version of the Joker
The Direct
in Matt
website?
Reeves' Batman trilogy. So we'll break
So
it all
this
down.
is
There's a bunch of Easter
actual
eggs.
news.
Be sure to subscribe to get all the videos.
not just
We'll do a new Amazon giveaway.
rumors.
All you have to do to enter
Is
is,
it?
be a subscriber and leave
What
all
actual
your
website?
predictions
His website?
for the new version of the Joker
Every
in the Batman
website that you
movies.
can go to is
So
an
starting
actual
with the really
website.
important stuff first, number 5, the Direct website published a report this past week claiming
What
that
Direct
Matt Reeves
website?
isn't just going to use a new version of the Joker in his new Batman trilogy of movies. He's going to use the Joker character way more in a much bigger way than any previous Batman movie franchise
That's
before.
what I
Not counting the
want
TV
to
series
hear.
like Batman animated series
That
or
was
the
my
live-action
idea for my
TV series like
eight-parter.
Gotham or the Adam West 1966 Batman series, because there were multiple appearances from those versions of the Joker. We're really just talking about the big movie franchises. And even though there's a lot
better
of
be
question
true.
about whether or not we'll ever see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker
course
again in
not.
another movie, they've been talk about them
In the
doing it,
Batmans.
there's been talk about them not doing it. He was great as that character, but Todd Phillips keeps saying that he never intended for his Joker movie to cross over with Robert Pattinson's Batman movies.
You just wanted to make fun of me.
Really good example of previous Jokers, though. Heath Ledger only appeared as the Joker once in The Dark Knight. Jared Leto technically only appeared in the Suicide Squad film, even though technically he's the version of the Joker referenced in the Birds of Prey movie. He never appeared on screen during that. Jack Nicholson only appeared in the first Michael Keaton Batman movie in 1989. Fun fact, though, had they continued with that iteration of the Batman franchise in a 5th Batman movie, that would have been titled Batman Unchained. They had planned to bring back Jack Nicholson's
Ooh.
Joker as a hallucination in Batman.
That's a cool title.
Filming new footage with Jack Nicholson. I think we can all agree, though, that as cool as that might have been to see him come back and reprise his role, we were much better off moving to the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy of Batman films. So number 4, this new Joker report goes on to state that the plan for this new version of the Joker is to cast another major actor. There have been a lot of rumors about who that could be. I'll mention them in a second.
Johnny Depp?
The Joker's story arc in the new Batman trilogy of movies will be a bigger version, bigger build-up of, say, like the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy Joker with Heath Ledger.
That's what I
So
want
think
to
about
hear.
the way that the Dark Knight trilogy treated the Joker character. At the end of Batman Begins, Gordon tells Batman that a new costume crazy person has surfaced and literally is leaving playing cards as calling cards, shows him the Joker playing card from a recent crime scene, and that's just meant to be the end tag scene teaser that the Joker would be the main villain of the next movie, The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger was amazing in that, but because he unfortunately passed away before The Dark Knight Rises was made, they opted not to do any Joker during that third movie. Although after he did pass away, Heath Ledger's sisters apparently did an interview claiming that he had told them he planned to return in some fashion to The Dark Knight Rises. We don't really know what his role would have been during that movie, given that Tom Hardy's Bane was supposed to be the main villain, if he would have teamed up with him or just simply taken advantage of all the chaos that he was causing in Gotham. So number 3, per this report, the new Robert Pattinson Batman movie version of the Joker is supposed to be a more drawn-out version of the Dark Knight trilogy version of the Joker storyline. Tease him at the end of the first movie with a reference or a playing card, something small but obvious, letting you know that the Joker exists within this universe. He's simply
saying.
too big to
Didn't I
swerve
say
on
that in the
things
last
like
video?
how
I
many
can
series
verify
make way too
this.
much money to not do any kind
I'm your
of
character
Joker
witness
at all.
this video.
Then he'd appear on screen in some fashion during the Batman 2, whatever that sequel winds up being, but he wouldn't be the main villain of that movie like he was during The Dark Knight. He'd just be a side character in the way that, say, like Colin Farrell has said that his version of the Penguin is in the first Batman movie and has some great scenes, but he's not meant to be the main villain, and he doesn't have a ton of scenes in terms of quantity compared to some of the other villains. But they use that second Batman movie to develop the new Joker character more, and then he becomes the main villain of the third Batman
Yes.
movie.
Oh my God, you're doing what I want.
Fan service.
So I don't know if there's plans to do more Batman with Robert Pattinson
Yes.
after that. I think it just depends on how things go. I did a video last week about how Warner
hope
Brothers
it's
has a
true.
desire to do more Batman spin-off movies for characters like the Riddler and Catwoman, given the success of the Joaquin Phoenix standalone Joker movie. So there will be more Batman-related movies, even if they don't do a fourth Robert Pattinson Batman movie. But number 2, you've also probably seen the rumors about who might wind up playing that new version of the Joker. I've seen a lot of recent speculation about Willem Dafoe, although I think he's just a fan theory right now more than an actual possibility. Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson just did the Lighthouse movie together a while ago. They were a great pair together. Willem Dafoe is an amazing actor. He's played some amazing villains.
Like
His version
Spider-Man.
of the Green Goblin in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies is still iconic.
You're an amazing creature, Spider-Man. You and I are not so different.
But I don't think that the type of characters that he typically plays are in the tone of what Matt Reeves is talking about with his Batman movie. He said that his new Batman movie, or multiple new movies if we're talking about a trilogy, are tonally somewhere between Tim Burton's more stylized Batman, Christopher Nolan's more realistic Batman, and what I would call the heightened reality of the neo-Gothic Batman the Animated Series. If you've seen some of the set pictures from the Batman movie this past year, you've probably seen some of the architecture too sort of reflects that. Sort of a little bit more Gothic than what you saw during Christopher Nolan's Batman movies, but not quite so crazy as what we saw during the Tim Burton films.
Okay.
So until they actually cast someone and we see him on screen, I'm imagining a Joker somewhere between Jack Nicholson's Joker and Heath Ledger's Joker.
Terrorizes. Wait till they get a load of me.
Yes, Joaquin Phoenix would be amazing in the new Batman movies, but I've already done a couple videos explaining how Todd Phillips doesn't want his Joker to cross over with the Batman movies. He seems completely opposed to it. The other new Joker actor that everyone's been talking about this year has actually been Johnny Depp, and it's just a rumor right now. I don't have
that
any strong
Johnny Depp's
feelings
art?
about Depp particularly.
Like, it doesn't
Personally,
look
as
like
long
his
as
face.
whoever this new Joker winds up being just delivers a great performance, I don't care who Matt Reeves winds up picking. I try not to have too many expectations like that because when Heath Ledger was first announced as the Joker for Dark Knight, the internet just completely hated the idea. Cut to a couple years later after the movie, and he became the most beloved Joker of all time next to Mark Hamill's Joker.
I'll show you. When the chips are down,
I bet that comment caused some
these
problems.
civilized people, they'll
It's Joaquin Phoenix's. No,
The
it's Jack
exact same
Nicholson's.
thing happened for the Joaquin Phoenix Joker when he was announced too. People freaked out, and suddenly he's now one of the new best Jokers of all time.
Did they? I thought
speaking
we were
of
all
which,
for
number
it.
one, my
I
favorite versions
thought-
of the Joker.
yeah, mostly
if you
people
include
were in
all the
favor.
TV series, including the animated ones, the spin-off.
Dude, just get Cameron
we're gonna
Monaghan
list
again.
16 different major versions of the Joker. So I'm just going to do my top 5 in reverse order here. All these are great performances, by the way. Starting with number 5, the Cesar Romero Joker from the 1966 Adam
Oh,
West
dude,
Batman
you're gonna
series.
rank the
He's a
Jokers?
classic through and through. If you've never
Set
seen any of
yourself
his
up
Joker,
for
be sure to check it out.
comments.
Engagement.
Number 4, the Cameron Monaghan Jerome version of the Joker from Gotham. Even though I didn't like everything that they did with that
I got
TV
2
series,
episodes
I
left
thought
on the
it was
show.
really interesting.
It's literally the promo for the-
This is the final Jack Nicholson's Joker from the 1989
we're in
Batman
clear.
movie. Even though his version of the Joker was very different from the canonical comic book Joker backstory, he just delivered an iconic performance, and he was my first movie Joker that I ever saw as a child.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What? I always ask that of all my prey. I just like the sound of it.
Number 2 is Joaquin Phoenix's Joker from the Joker movie. However you feel about the movie itself, his performance was amazing.
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you
Wait.
bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
And as you probably guessed, my number 1 pick is actually
So
a
it's
tie
not
between Heath Ledger's
Mark
Joker
Hamill.
from The Dark Knight
Okay.
and Mark Hamill's Joker from Batman the Animated Series. Normally, people only think about the live-action movies when you think about the best versions of the characters, but Mark Hamill has one of the most iconic Joker portrayals in history. From any of the movies, any of the TV series, in Batman
Do you know
the
Phantasm's
Animated
real name?
Series itself is one of
It's
the
okay,
best
John.
TV
Claire.
series of any TV series in history. Batman Mask of the Phantasm is also one of the best Batman movies of all time. It just happens to be an animated movie.
Do you know it was released?
1993.
Yeah, okay, you got that right.
Next year, after we hopefully get to watch this new Batman movie, I will re-rank my new Batman movie tier list. But post all your reactions in the comments below. Who do you want to play this new version of the Joker, and who is your favorite
Idris
version
Elba,
of the Joker right
Michael
now?
B. Jordan,
The Batman movie and pretty much every
Tom
other
Hardy.
movie that went on break because of the virus is getting
That's
ready
a
to start
really cool
filming
photo.
again this summer. So as you
Jai
get more details about
Courtney.
the movie and learn more about the story, I'll do more big Batman bonus videos. But leave all your requests in the comments below. Everyone, click here for my other brand
I
new
love the
Batman
Hot Rod
trilogy video
Batmobile.
about the villains and the new spin-off movies, and click here for that brand new Bill and Ted Face the Music trailer with
Keanu
Keanu
Reeves should play him.
Thank you so much for watching. Everyone, stay safe. I'll see you guys.
I'm a
tonight.
man of my word.
I'm
Do you know
agent of chaos.
Do you know where Harvey is? Been looking for him. You must be Harvey Squeeze. All it takes is one bad day.
Yeah, I love this idea. If any of this is to be believed or true, I said this in the last video that I was like, you should have Joker be a presence, let his existence be known, and then have him build to be the ultimate villain in part 3, 89's Batman. The first villain in that Batman franchise was Joker, and then the second Batman franchise, Nolan's part 2, Dark Knight, was Heath Ledger's, and then you could really build him up, and in this new franchise, have the part 3 be the Joker villain. I like the idea, even if there's like a little bit of Joker in the second movie. I imagine that if this trilogy goes well, they'll probably want to continue it, expand it, not just be a solid 3. I just don't feel like you can do like really cover the Batman mythos and mythology and the whole world of Batman
And
within
all
a
the
trilogy.
characters
Yeah,
worth covering,
there's just no way you can really do that. So if they want to build the Batverse like they talked about in the last video, I get that. I've always wanted a specific 8-part Batman movie where you start off where he's younger and you have him go into like old man Batman, like Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns era. I thought it would be neat if you did have Joker in it throughout. What we're hearing from these reports, especially in the sense of like, yeah, Penguin will be here, but he won't be the main villain in this one. And then same thing with hearing about the possibility of what they would want to do with Joker. Hearing that, it sounds like what Matt Reeves is doing in some way. I'm not saying this is exactly what he's doing. There's a version of this that can be likened to bringing the animated series to life, where the world is already very much lived in. Because if you look at most of these superhero movies, the Batman movies included, it's usually like, new villain in town, we gotta take him down.
Yeah.
New villain in town, we gotta take him down. And maybe there will be some of that, but it seems like for the most part, it's gonna start off and continue as something that's already lived in, and maybe some of the main villains, or whoever the main villain is in each installment, will already be someone who Batman is familiar with already, as opposed to new baddie in town, gotta fight him, get his origin tale, you know? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing is you think back to the cartoon and especially the comics, you have villains shuffling in and out of Arkham, and it seems like in those forms of the story, the villains are more a community than just like one guy who rolls into town, gets taken care of, and is replaced or something like that. So to have a movie that utilizes that sense of universe, I think would be really smart, because it's not quite as sprawling as doing like a whole MCU, but it's also leaving you open to a lot of options and a lot of cross-pollination, and a lot of room to have villains appear and stuff. So like you said, I would love to see the Joker pop up, or at least be a presence in the second movie that is only looming and doesn't ever just fully take hold until part 3. And that would be an appropriate build-up and all that. And I just love the sound of this too, because the tone he's going for. I love what Christopher Nolan did, but it is very grounded, and then that inspired every other movie that came after that to try and be very grounded for a while. And I think this is a great concept because, clearly that brought the weight that those movies can punch. But what I've started to miss is that more Tim Burton-esque, heightened, more gothic, more, again, inspired by the craziness of the comics type of world. And so I love the idea of fusing those together, heightening it back up a little bit, especially in the scenery, because one thing I know we've talked about over the course of the years in reviewing these newer DC Batman movies and stuff is the feeling of Gotham as a character. And one thing, especially about the older films, and even the Schumacher ones, say what you will, the city is very much a character akin to the comics. And maybe like Batman Begins kind of got there again a little bit. But yeah, I love what they're pitching here, and I think it's the right idea.
I mean, we've talked plenty about like what other people could play Joker.
Garrett Hedlund. Let's get him in there.
Sam Worthington.
Yes. Now rank those guys.
Yeah. Scott Eastwood.
Yeah. All the okay actors.
I think Willem Dafoe, though, I don't really agree with the assessment that if he were to be cast in it, that his style of acting wouldn't mesh with. Granted, I don't exactly know the tone in the world that Matt Reeves is going for. I'm just kind of going off of everything established, but Willem Dafoe can blend into almost any genre.
Yeah, it seems
I mean,
like.
he can be really heightened if the role calls for it, but he can dial it back if he needs to. You know, he's a very talented actor.
And the thing about him is he's a little bit timeless, even though he is older.
Yeah,
You know?
but he like his age is never. He's always looked weird.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of those guys. Yeah, so it would still maybe work over a couple movies, even if he ages.
Emergency Austin's been a long time on the ranking here of the Joker portrayals. You know, honestly, I agree. You guys might have seen the videos in the past when Joaquin Phoenix's Joker came out, and granted, absolutely deserved the Oscar. But in terms of Joker, villain, criminal, mastermind, more akin to the comics, I gotta give it to Heath Ledger. I do. And Mark Hamill's is certainly iconic. You know, it would be cool to see if he did do a live action one day. Maybe in one of the CW shows. I know that's not the medium most people would want him to do it in, but maybe in one of the CW shows. Because that seems like the best place where he'd get the opportunity, considering Kevin Conroy did it on Crisis on Infinite Earths. As iconic as it is, the audience association with it is really with the voice. In terms of performance, I would still give it to Heath Ledger because a lot goes into acting with, you know, body language and mannerisms,
embodiment.
which I'm sure Mark Hamill is doing in the voice booth. It would be cool to see him done in real life. He's played the trickster on The Flash, and that's probably the closest we can see to really capturing some Jokerisms in terms of live action performance from the guy. The fan casting, it's going to be a lot of names thrown out for a very long time. I hope Matt Reeves continues to do the choices that are like, wouldn't have expected that, but that works. That seems to be what a lot of the casting has been. I don't want Bill Skarsgård. A lot of people are
He's done Pennywise.
He's done the clown thing already. He's done the clown thing already. I feel like Johnny Depp would be fine, actually, if he cares. I feel like he would be fine. I really have no idea. I'm more looking forward to it.
Tom Felton. There you go. Matt Reeves connection.
Yes.
Bring him back from Planet of the Apes.
All right, guys, well, what do you think about all this Joker news? Who's your favorite Joker now that Joker 2019 has had almost a year? We still got like 5 more months or something until it's a full year. How would you rank your Jokers? Let me know down below. Make sure to subscribe to Emergency Awesome if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell to get notified whenever we got a video up. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks, Ridge, for sponsoring this video. Last but not least, JT. 3 days ago,
Yes.
June 7th, was JT's birthday. And like good old-fashioned Greg, always late to wishing people happy birthday. Just like in real life with all my friends. I have a wonderful reputation. But JT, I just wanted to say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, JT. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Many in addition to those. Happy Hanukkah.